Okay, Bleedlow's here with the man of the year, the Baseball America Manager of the Year, World Series champion 2024. It is the one and only Dave Roberts. Do you ever get tired of hearing that?
I don't. I can get used to that. It's been such a whirlwind, so much fun, and I'm here doing a signing right now, getting a chance to be with the Dodger fans, and there's been a world tour. My voice shows it. I feel great, but just kind of going all over the world and kind of spreading Dodger love, getting Dodger love everywhere. There's nothing like it, and it just capped off with that parade that was just electric and probably the best day of my life.
It was the best day for a lot of us, and you are the huge reason that happened. It wasn't always pretty, right, with all that the Dodgers went through, but they bought in. Your team, your guys, the clubhouse bought in. You were the leader, and we got it. We got that championship. We got the parade. Seeing you dance on stage with Ice Cube. Oh, my goodness. What was that experience like?
You know what? I think the first part of it, as you mentioned, is there was a buy-in. And with our players, and I think, and I know our Dodger faithful and fans appreciated the way that our players played the way I played as a player. I managed them the way that they needed to be managed. They bought in. There was trust both ways. It wasn't easy, as you said. And ultimately, we got to have that parade that we talked about. And it ended with me being on stage with Ice Cube. And I shot my shot. He was my guy when I was younger. So it was a memory for a lifetime.
I kind of feel, I get vibes from you that you had big subwoofers. Like, did you have a lowered car? Like, what was young Dave Robertson playing Ice Cube like?
So I did have the subwoofers. I had the box made, my 210s in the trunk. I was rocking a Nissan Sentra and playing it as loud as I could. And that was me. That was my vibe.
I knew it. I knew it. So thank you for taking time to speak with us. You mentioned your world tour. You were in Europe, Japan, so much love. Dallas winter meetings, back here, Monterey Park, East LA for the line outside. Have you seen that line? It is ginormous for you. The love that you must be feeling. I know gratitude is very important to you right now. But give us something. This is the last question. What can Dodgers expect? Are we going to run it back? Is TEOSCAR coming back? Give us something, Dave.
We are going to run it back. LA is a city of champions, and that's something that I certainly appreciate. And we want rings. Mookie said it. Shohei said it. They want to accumulate rings and build onto their legacy. So, yes, that's what we want to do. We're going to run it back. TEOSCAR, I love Teo. And so I think we're close. I pray everyone say your prayers that we get Teo done so he can come back in Dodger Blue as well.
That's it. That's all I wanted to hear from the skipper. Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Can I get a high five?
Let's go.
It's a champion right here. Thank you.
When you look at just going into this winter meetings, how different does it feel coming off of a World Series win, but also knowing that there are a couple of key names that have been in Dodger Blue for a while who are now free agents, so the team could be looking a little bit different?
Well, it's a lot different vibe for me, for all of our whole contingent coming here this year than the last couple years. It seems like the last couple years you're trying to still answer questions from previous postseason losses and try to find some optimism for people to buy into going into the winter and to the spring. So now you can kind of sit back and feel good about answering questions and obviously looking forward to 2025. And I think I'm always resolved to every year is going to be different. You've got to enjoy the year in itself, but know that there's going to be some turnover and there's going to be some guys that are personal favorites of mine that will be back and some that won't. And, to make deals, to come back, it takes both sides, and certain guys have opportunities. But in my perfect world, obviously, I'd like to get the guys that I love and that have performed back. But I'm prepared for either way, though.
You're returning from spending some time in Japan. It is going to be a quick turnaround before spring training starts again, and the team is going to be opening the season in Japan at the Tokyo Dome. What did you see while you were out there that kind of excites you for what this experience is going to be like for the Dodgers to be playing there?
I think for me, I just saw sincere, genuine joy, excitement for us going there. And I think it's one of those things that I know that baseball is trying to expand globally. And, you do South Korea, and you saw the way we were received last year by the people in South Korea, and it's going to be the same, if not more, certainly with Shohei and Yamamoto going to their home country in Japan. So I think for me, it just gave me a sense of like, you know what, we are doing things right. Our game is flourishing all over the world.
With some of the news that we've heard today, one being with Mookie Betts, that he is going to be moving back to the infield, being the everyday shortstop for the 2025 season. What did you learn from him with that transition last year? Of course, it did come later in spring training, but how did you see how he handled that year, but also how he can prepare him for this year?
Well, I think the thing I learned about Mookie that I already sort of knew, I knew in the sense that he's not going to make an excuse. He's willing to tackle anything that he can tackle, and he did it with a lot of professionalism. It wasn't always great. He got better every day, but I think our thought is that if he has an entire off season to prepare physically, mentally, he's going to be in a lot better position. And there's just nothing Mookie can't do on a baseball field.
When he came back from that hand injury, how much of this was the conversation of, yes, right now we need you in right field, but there is going to be opportunity down the line for you to be coming back to the infield? And then moving forward after the World Series, when did you all have that conversation about his return?
That was the conversation. I think that was the sequence. I think after the hand injury, knowing that we are now in a pennant race, what's best for that sprint to put the Dodgers in the best position to win? And he knew it. We all knew it. Him being in right field was the best, certainly given how Gavin Lux was playing all season. And so after the season, talking about obviously there's going to be an opportunity for him to come back to the infield and then potentially shortstop, and just how things have played out this winter, we left ourselves some optionality, with second base, shortstop, but we feel great about Gavin at second base and Mookie at short.
And with that decision, did it just kind of solidify the needs for this team in regard to the position player side and what you all are hoping to bring to the organization this offseason?
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say that, there's still a lot of time in the offseason. If something changes, then I do think that if you look at the way we kind of construct our roster, giving ourselves some optionality is big. But, as it is today, Mookie's our shortstop, and I feel great about that. We can kick Tommy out to center field. And obviously with Andy Pages and James Outman, fighting for time out there, we feel great about those two guys too. And, having Gavin at second base. So it's a well-oiled machine.
Well, Dave, this is the beginning of the winter meetings, but I know lots more news and fun to come. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Kirsten.
Nolan Arenado, maybe the best fielding third baseman we have ever seen, at least in our lifetime. All right, so the name of this segment is Read and React. I read, Dan reacts.
I'm the reactor.
You are. Here we go. Katie Wu from The Athletic on Arenado. Now, as the Cards shift directions and contemplate trading Arenado, the 10-time Gold Glove winning third baseman is willing to play first base, or at least less at third, to create roster flex
2025. So the move across the diamond from third base to first base frees up a spot at third base, takes a guy that's less athletic than he's been the last year have on a team, and if he's willing to make the move from third base to first base, I think that's something the Cardinals should consider.